Hey, Shalom. First off, I want to start up by saying all praises, honor, and glory is due unto Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakadash. All praises to the world cause God, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh, by Hashem meaning in the name of Yahushai being the name of the only begotten Son. I also want to say double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect, preaching this word in truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Tazabah in the Great Millstone, Arizona camp, Lord well, with another video to edify. And I'm gonna go right into this article, man. It says billionaire says U.S. on classic path to civil war, right? And this is scriptural, right? These things are scriptural, and when you read this article, it reminds me of that scene in The Dark Knight Rises, the Batman movie with Bane, when the dude asked him, "Have we started the fire?" He said, what Bane said, he said, "The fire rises." Right? Yes, the fire rises. Right, and that's what you're seeing, man. The fire is starting to rise, man. And it's just the risk lies in an explosive mix of large deficits, right? That's basically devaluing currency, high taxes, right? Inflation, right? The cost of goods costing more, and a wealth gap, right? Meaning you got a lot of people that were once in the middle class, right, or the upper class, shooting down to a lower class. It says Ray Dalio warns. It says the founder of the world's largest hedge fund, Bridgewater Associates. And Bridgewater is huge. Huge. Right? These are people that insiders, they know money. Right? It says Ray Dalio has warned on Thursday that the US is on a classic path towards some form of civil war. And it's not towards some form, it's gonna be towards the greatest form. Right? The scriptures talk about there's going to be a time that such was not, since there was a time on earth, man. Nothing's going to compare to the hell America's going to catch in these last days. It says the current financial conditions are irreconcilable. It says the current financial conditions and irreconcilable differences in desires and values are consistent with the ingredients leading to civil strife, according to him, right? Not knowing what is true because of distortion in the media and propaganda increases as people become more polarized, emotional, and politically motivated, right? And that's what you're seeing, right? This is nothing new. And the value money starts going down, costs more to buy things. People start looking at the people in charge, like why can't I live off of doing what my father did, my father's father, my father's father? Why is it now that I'm in the poorhouse, right, and I make $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year? Why is it that I'm not able to sit here and have the liberty that I had before? People are getting tired of that, and the ones that you got to worry about are these Edomites. There's nothing worse than somebody that starts to fall from a position of rulership, from a position of leisure, because then they start lashing out and looking at everybody like they're doing something to them. It says he pointed to the number of factors that led him to this notion, including large deficits, high taxes, inflation, and wealth disparities that bring political polarization. When that happens at the same time as there are foreign powers that are becoming strong enough to challenge the leading world power, that is and that is entering this civil war dynamic, right? And that's America. America's going out the door. The scriptures tell you that the Lord was going to make Esau small, or when you go to that word small, it means insignificant among the heathen. That's why all these nations are bucking up, because the prophecies are coming to pass. It says it is an especially risky period. That is the period I believe we are in now. Delio stress, adding that the biggest question is how much the system will bend before it breaks, right? It's only a matter of time. Nobody's sitting there denying that America is a crumbling empire, right? But what's happened is these devils have been able to do all these wicked practices that now the average person is feeling it, right? So Esau went from looking at big threats to everybody's a threat. This is why you had them come out with the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, came out with a whole new criteria of what a terrorist is, and they made it extremely broad. It all boils down to, if you don't agree with us, you're a terrorist. If you subscribe to any other thought pattern than what we put on the news, you're a possible terrorist, a threat, right? The second is just 15 and 16. It says, "For there should be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." And this is what civil war is, right? The scriptures talk about, I think it's Isaiah 19, right? The burden of Egypt, behold, verse 2. I'm going to go right to verse 2. It says, "And I will set the Egyptian," Isaiah 19:2, "and I set the Egyptians against the Egyptians," right? The Americans versus Americans, right? And they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And the spirit of Egypt fell in the midst thereof, right? Before it was, we're all Americans. And now they're like, nah, you're a liberal. This is their terms. You're a liberal. I'm a conservative, right? It says, "I will destroy the counsel thereof." It says, "And they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards," right? This is what's happening. These people are trying to look towards everything they can. But America as a whole, going down, baby. Right? This is Job 20. In 22. It says, "In the fullness of his sufficiency," right? And we're part of that time. We're in that time now where this devil's trying to pull out his plans. There's a reason why they can sit here and talk about lockdown this, lockdown that. There's a reason why they can sit here and now start talking in big plans about entire currency changes, right? Talking about going from a physical dollar to a digital dollar. Mind you, they have not sit here and told you what your physical dollars will do when that digital dollar comes on, right? Now more and more information is coming out on the mark of the beast, which is the RFID and the NFC microchipping technology, which you will be implanted with. Right? It says, "In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits," meaning he's not going to be able to go. It's not going to go smooth. It says, "Every hand of the wicked," and when you go to that word "wicked" right there, you pull it up. 20 and 23. This is that word for wicked. It's not talking about evil men, but it's talking about the workers, right? So that word for wicked.
Strong's H 6001. A male.
And it's Amalah, Amal, which means laborer, suffer, wretched one. Laborer, workman, suffer, toiling. So every hand of the working man is going to be upon him. This is why you have so many more things coming out with just the normal everyday person is rising up. Here it is. You got trucker convoys everywhere, right? Blocking off trade routes, blocking off ports. Oh yeah, this is real. This is real, right? So this is Leviticus 19. And the reason why these people are like this, man, is really because Esau sat there and stolen for them for so long, and now they're not even able to eat. He's taking away all your ability to even make side money, right? While he holds your money all week and gives you nothing. There's so many stories coming out that these big CEOs are sitting there getting paid millions of dollars while the average employee is only getting paid, $15 an hour. Why does a CEO need every paycheck? And in my job, I see this shit all the time. One person could be making $6,000 a week. $6,000 a week. Sometimes even $8,000 a week. Breaking down to like it's about $208,000 to $300,000 or more, or about $400,000 a year. But the person down at the bottom that's doing the majority of the work is getting paid $500 a week. This is how this devil works out the system. So these people are in a destitute spot, man. It says, "Thou shalt not defraud," Leviticus 19:13. "Thou shalt not defraud thy neighbor, neither rob him. The wages of him that is hired shall not abide with thee all night until the morning." And this is exactly what this devil does. He defrauds you by holding your money all week. And you know what he does? Throughout the week when he makes that income, because all these big corporations, they do what? They have stocks. They got bonds, right? They're sitting there using your money that you make all week to trade on. And then they make a little increase upon what they sit here and trade on your hard earnings and sit on for the next 2 weeks. And then they give you your shit taxed out the ass. This is what this devil does, man. Right? This is Malachi 3. I'll end it on this one, man. But ultimately, man, the Lord is getting rid of this place. This is Malachi 3 and 5. It says, "And I will come near to you to judgment, and I will be a swift witness against the sorcerers, and against the adulterers, and against the false swearers, and against those that oppress the hireling in his wages." The fact that there's large deficits, high taxes, wealth gaps, and inflations, this is all a sign that somebody has been oppressing somebody of their wages, man. And the widow and the fatherless, and that turn aside the stranger from his right and fear not me, said Yahweh. So the Lord's coming to bring that swift judgment. And a lot of times, that's going to come through the Lord putting these people against each other, right? But just a quick lesson, man. Lord willing, this is edifying. I'm going to say call halal. Yahweh Bashim Shai Bashim Rakal Kadash. That's all praises to the world calls God. His true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh. Bashim meaning in the name. Yahweh Shai being the name of the only begotten Son. Shalom.